Today we're celebrating Black History Month, and I wanted to take the time to show appreciation to some of the best to ever do it in this business while representing the culture. This list highlights people who are important to wrestling history while also acknowledging those who made a huge impact, even if their resume doesn't always reflect just how influential they were. The GOAT in my book, my favorite wrestler of all time, Naomi. You cannot bring up history without bringing up Naomi in the conversation. The first Black woman to hold the SmackDown Women's Championship, first and only Black woman to win the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, the first Black superstar to win a title at WrestleMania, first Black woman to become Miss Money in the Bank, first Black woman to win the Women's World Championship, and one half of the first Black WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. But beyond the accolades, let's talk about the growth. Naomi started as a dancer for Brodus Clay as one of the Funkadactyls, and when she went solo, that is when she really blossomed into a star. Peak athleticism, she was one of the most athletic women in the division, innovative, entertaining, and different. Even after becoming a two-time champion, she still wasn't valued the way she should have been. So what did she do? She walked away, took her talents to TNA, and put the world on notice, and improving even more during that run. Then she came back to WWE and completely reinvented herself, becoming the head of one of the best storylines in 2025. So I had to show my girl some love. Shelton Benjamin was one of the greatest pure athletes in the WWE when I was watching. During the Ruthless Aggression era, he became a three-time Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, and a three-time Tag Team Champion. Unfortunately, he never captured a World Championship. Some people credit that to his mic skills not being as strong, promos being mid, to put it simply. And let's be honest, the main event scene at that time was stacked. Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, Edge, Kane, Kurt Angle, and John Cena as well. Shelton had a resurgence around 2020 and later went to wrestle in AEW, where he continues to showcase his talent. The EST, the roughest, the toughest, the quickest, the strongest, and is arguably the best superstar in the WWE. First Black woman to win the Royal Rumble, two-time Elimination Chamber winner, and the first Black woman to win Elimination Chamber, first Black woman to main event WrestleMania 37 alongside Sasha Banks. Bianca has been described as one of the best NXT call-ups ever. Most people struggle a little bit getting used to the main roster, but her transition was smooth. She's talked about literally doing a 450 splash within her first weeks of training. That's crazy! With her gymnastics background, CrossFit training, and collegiate athletic career all blending in her in-ring style. Power, strength, agility, high flying ability. And then you add on her personality and creativity on top. Bianca Belair is one of the greatest superstars in WWE history. Next up is Montel Vontavious Porter. MVP debuted in the early 2000s, and while many remember him as a strong mid-card talent, maybe I'm just speaking from my perspective, but as a young Black girl watching at the time, MVP hit different. One of the best entrances, he had swag and charisma, the ball and elbow, iconic. He feuded with Matt Hardy, Kane, Chris Benoit. He also held the United States Championship, his first reign lasting 343 days, and even held the tag title simultaneously at one point. When people talk about notable US champions, names like The Miz, John Cena, Matt Hardy, and Dean Ambrose come up, but best believe MVP is definitely in that conversation too. In the 2020s, he transitioned into a more managerial role, leading the Hurt Business with Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and Cedric Alexander. He assisted with elevating the members of the group, and they were able to secure the WWE Championship, the US Championship, and tag titles. Fans were quite disappointed when the WWE broke them up, but they later took their business to AEW, now known as the Hurt Syndicate. We are talking about the boss, the CEO. We know her now as Mercedes Moné, but for the sake of this video, we're talking about Sasha Banks. The women's division has come a long way, from being treated as eye candy to being respected as competitors, and Sasha was at the forefront of that change. And many credit her, along with Bayley, for igniting the women's revolution at NXT TakeOver. She was the first Black woman to main event WrestleMania, helping elevate Bianca Belair as a young talent in that historical match, which went on to win an ESPY for the best WWE moment that year. She's a Grand Slam champion and a multiple-time women's champion. After creative differences surrounding their tag titles, while Naomi would later return, Sasha, or Mercedes in this case, went on to succeed across multiple promotions, collecting 13 championships simultaneously. Yeah, that's right. I said simultaneously. Now, we touched on him a little bit earlier, but we have to give Bobby Lashley his own spot on this list. Before WWE, he had an extensive amateur wrestling background. Then Lashley would debut in WWE in the early 2000s as an athletic beast. He became ECW World Champion, but would inevitably leave WWE in 2008. He would proceed to have an incredible run in TNA. When he returned in 2018, the almighty run showed how much he really honed his craft. He came back better, more polished, and more dominant. A two-time WWE champion and was a physical, dominant main event presence. And that wraps up part 1 of recognizing Black excellence in wrestling. There are so many more names to cover that I had to split this into 2 parts. So make sure you stay tuned for part 2. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and comment some Black superstars you'd like to acknowledge and appreciate.